explain a bit about the accepting a plea and what type of options that leads you? Because many believe that if you take a plea, then that's that, and there's nothing you can do. You just got to go through years.
Okay. The thing is, first off, it's a trick. And what I mean by it's a trick, sometimes dudes see high numbers, like 30 years, for instance, and like, oh no, I'm going to trial. They don't have no evidence on me, no physical evidence or no wiretaps on me, so I'm going to trial. Well, that's a trick, because see, now if you go to trial, you're going to get the high end, which is life. If you're facing a 30 life sentence, but you're going to get the high end, whatever, if it's 100 years. You know what I'm saying? If you lose, and see, it's not about the evidence when you go to trial. It's about the witness testimony. One witness will get you a life sentence. One witness. So so what? They didn't have no evidence on you, or you talking about anything. They got a man sitting on the stand saying you used to get 200-300 kilos a week from it. You know what I'm saying? They got another man saying that you used to sell him 200 or 300 a week. Now you're going to do a life when you could have took the 30. You know what I'm saying? And when you take the 30, you lose appeal rights, meaning that you can't file a direct appeal or come back to court on appeal like as if you had went to trial. What you have is a 2255 motion that you can file within a year after being sentenced. That's your deadline. You got a year to file it. Within a year after being sentenced, you can file a 2255 motion, and that's like 6 or 7 issues that you may have, like maybe your lawyers didn't do the correct job, maybe that's ineffective assistance of counsel, or maybe they didn't recognize a bad indictment. Maybe you didn't get all of your discovery and didn't know all the evidence. Maybe they charged you with 2 848 and 846, which is the CCE charge and conspiracy, and they're not supposed to do that. But that's one issue that I'm arguing right now. They can't do that. They got to charge you with a lesser offense, which would be the conspiracy. They can't charge you with 2 conspiracies. But you can come, that's what a 2255 motion is. And when you file that motion, you go to the district first, which would be the same people that you went in front of, the judge and the prosecutor that prosecuted you. That's where your motion goes to. You don't go back to court on it. Your motion goes to them in front of them. They'll shoot you down, or they're granted or denied within 30 days. 9 out of 10, they're going to deny it. Okay? Now, that 2255 motion goes to the Court of Appeals. That's your next step. Okay? If they deny it, then you go to the Supreme Court with your 2255 motion. But the only thing, the Court of Appeals have about up to a year or so to answer you, and then Supreme Court, the same thing, up to about a year, 15 months, somewhere around there to answer you, deny you or grant you some relief, depending on what type of issues you got. Some people might take their plea back, and that's not always good, because if you take your plea back, you can get more time if it's within 5 years. After 5 years, they can't give you no more time than you already have, So, but a lot of people don't know that you got to take a plea to get some time to give yourself a chance. You give yourself a chance. It's always really, you're going to always fight. When 2255, if it don't work out, you got 2241. After 2241, you got Rule 60B. You can look all these up. You know what I'm saying? People can look all these up. We all ignorant to the law till we get in trouble. Then we start, some of us start doing our research. Some of us just sit back content, which we shouldn't. You should always fight to the end.
That's right. That's exactly right. Let me ask you, if you had even a quarter of the degree of legal understanding that you have now, would you have done anything differently when you were running around?
When I was running around in the street? Well, to be honest, that would mean to probably, I can't say to tone myself down or nothing like that, because then I wouldn't be being me. What you seen in me running around and doing everything the way I did it, that's the real me. And I think in a lifetime, I can't think of too many men or women that get to be themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you before, I am the man that I always wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm him. I'm a living legend. I'm what I always wanted to be. It's just too much time for a first-time non-violent offender. I can't point at the mistakes that brought me down because they brought me down on my brother's indictment. You know what I'm saying? I can't just pinpoint all the finger on him. He's not the total blame. But the thing is, I didn't get caught for the things that I do, though. You know what I'm saying? You can't say I bought too many bottles of Cristal or the billboards. You know, they always talk about one bill. I had 4 billboards up. 4. You know what I'm saying? One on Peachtree, one between 75, 85, one right on 85, and one by the Georgia Dome. But the billboards didn't have 1-800-COCAINE. That ain't what brought me down. You know what I'm saying? That just made them mad. It didn't bring me down. So I'm advertising.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't really say that, you know, that I would have did something different, because it wasn't actually me that brought me down. You know what I'm saying? It's the evidence they had on my brother, and them saying that, okay, well, they started it together. So that's enough to bring him in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you got a conspiracy from 1990 to 2005, you mean to tell me it took you 15 years to get enough evidence to bring me down? That's unrealistic. But again, you got to take a chance on going to trial and getting life plus just to bring that up, just to raise that argument. The only one thing, Cavario, for real, you know, is I hate missing this time raising my son. You know, he was 5 when I left. Yeah, he was 5 when I left the street. Now he's 11. But you know what I'm saying? Because these are important years, especially for a young man. But his mama is doing a fine job with him. And one thing for sure, he'll never have to do the things that I've done. You know what I'm saying? But I would love to be there, you know, right now to raise him into a man. But I'm doing the best I can from prison. But it's nothing like being at home free with him, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's one thing, you know, that I would love. I just don't want, you know, I want him to benefit from the life that I've led and the friends and family that we all have, the bonds that I built, the ties that I built all over the world. I want him to benefit from that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've done it for. That's whose turn it is to bar now. That's who I'm ready. I'm ready to watch him come up in Lambos and stuff. As long as that happened, I'm proud of everything. You know what I'm saying? My whole life. I'm not even mad about prison. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, I'm not mad about it. It gave me a chance to sit down and get my body together. My mind is right. I don't need a bunch of books to read to get my mind right. My mind right. I've been making money the majority of my life. There's a lot of people trying to read and get knowledge and trying to learn how to make money and keep money. And I've had money all my life. Lost it, had it, lost it, had it. So I learned how to keep it longer each time. You know what I'm saying? So I learned how to make my money work for me. You know what I mean? So that right there, you know, that's priceless in itself. You know, why a person walking around with all this book knowledge, but you can't apply it to nothing. You know everything, but you ain't got a dime.
Yeah, because you never actually been in the world, but you never
right. You never do. That's why so many athletes and entertainers go broke, because they get money and they don't know how to make the money work for them. You know, the person looks up, oh, he had $50 million contract. he broke. Yeah, he broke because he opened a club. The club looked like nice and lavish, but you're not the owner. You walk in there, you got a little something to drink, get you a couple of girls every weekend. You like, oh, this club rocking. He got to be making money. No, the waitress stealing, the manager stealing, his financial advisor stealing, and you look up the club clothes and he didn't make a dime. He just spent his NBA check or NFL check or Major League Baseball check opening it.
Yeah.
Oh,